Roll.
We at it again, man.
Yep,
We at it again. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Athletes Vision. I'm Mike Nunley.
You got it.
I'm Caleb Wheatland.
And I'm Tyler Benson.
Look, we're here, man, to like pretty much give y'all like the insight of these young athletes through the world of sports. You know, the dreams they chasing, you know, and the lives they live as athletes.
Yeah, man. We're going to be diving deep into every episode. We're just going to be diving deep into the lives of what y'all doing and how you get to where you got, whether it be in college, whether it be, you know, just even if you saw in high school, stuff like that. So, yeah, happy to have you on the podcast today.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, man.
Well, look, man, this is our second athlete that's going to be on here, which is pretty cool. So, we got another unique story from a young man that's grinding his way, you know, from where he come from, you know, to getting to where he at now. And I think it's really, really special. So, well, we're not going to hold the people off. We want you to be able to dive right into what, you know, who you are. Like, explain to us, you know, your journey, man. Like, you know, when did you start playing sports, you know, to, you know, what gave you that love? You know what I'm saying?
Well, first off, who are you and where do you play?
Yeah, who are you, man?
Who is this dude, bro?
Well, like earlier I said, my name is Caleb Wheatland. Play football at University of Maryland, and play inside linebacker. Didn't start playing inside linebacker until about like my freshman year of high school, and then play a little bit of running back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
All right, cool, man. So, like, let's get back into the high school. Before we get to high school, let's give a little youth, man. Like, so you said you played, you know, inside linebacker, but you also played running back, right? So, which one did you prefer when you was younger, right? You're like in youth sports. Which one did you prefer?
Definitely running back.
Okay.
Because, you know, like when you a little kid, like you trying to go in there and score some touchdowns.
Yeah.
That was like the ideal spot, like when you're a younger kid, just playing offense.
I got you. So. Yeah, man. So, like, it's funny because, like, anytime somebody come on here, we want them to be, you know, as authentic as possible, right? So, we want to know, like, your story. Right, you know, like I said in one of my podcasts, you know, on myself, you know, write your story and tell it, right? You know, so I want to, you know, let you be able to write your story right now because it's not finished. So give us and dive into, man, like, you know, what make your purpose, your mindset, your vision to be who you are right now, man.
Well, since a little kid, I've always wanted to play football.
I got you.
Ever since like. Probably the first thing I said to my mom was like, I want to play football. I want to play football.
Yeah.
And like my main purpose of why I play this sport is for my family.
I got you.
You know, having them just be able to see me play the game, just be able to be close to home, and just have them be there is a real important part of my life.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
All right.
So talk a little bit more about your family, like especially growing up, like younger, like were they going to your games? Like it was like you said that was your motivation. Like speak about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I just grew up with my mom. She's amazing. Yeah. She did a great job with me.
She did.
So just having that, like it was just my mom, my grandma, my grandpa at the time. Yeah. They will always come to my games, no matter what day it was, no matter what time it was. Like they will always make sure that they were there.
Okay. I think that's one thing that sets a lot of people apart is like when you have something to play for. Like some people just, all right, cool, like they do it, they have a purpose, but like when you really like you feel that, right? Like you can feel it when you say like I've known you for a little while and I know like how big family is to you. It's like when you have that to play for, it's just gonna take it to another level because it's not just you, right? You're doing it for other people, so that's tough. Yeah.
So it's funny. So like, where'd you grow up at, man?
Yeah, I grew up in Fairfax for a little bit. Ended up moving to Centerville. Switching teams, going back and forth. Cause I'll say like my team with FPYC at first, and then like when we play the Centerville teams, kind of like a rivalry there almost a little bit, I would say.
Did you play SY?
Yeah, I played.
All right, so big shout outs to Cliff Epperson. You know, Cliff Epperson is that's his family, right? That's a cousin. That's my wife's side of the family, man. Cliff Epperson, man. Hey, job well done on these young men, man. Job well done. I mean, a lot of these guys wouldn't have, you know, the mindset or the drive to be able to do what they do, man. So big shout out to Cliff Epperson, man. So which lead to that, right? So you end up going to high school, right? What's your high school you went to?
Westfield,
right? So you went to Westfield where you came in your freshman year, right? How was it your freshman year coming in?
Well, my freshman year coming in, definitely say I had a different mindset on everything. I knew I wanted to play college football. I knew I wanted to go to the league and play, but I just never understood the full things that I needed to do to actually get me to that level. I never had the understanding and I would say guidance almost in a way to what it actually took to get to the next level.
Facts. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't like people don't understand like just that high school jump, like going from high school to the level you're at. You're a D1 football, but a very good school. Like people don't understand the grind that it takes to get there. Like you're not just going there. Like people aren't just getting handed those things. You're on a scholarship.
Yeah. So
like people don't just get handed that, right? Like you gotta work for that, and that grind is different. And so like one thing that I know again from knowing you, like you surrounded yourself with other people like-minded. Like all right, cool, I'm trying to go to the next level. And I feel like being surrounded by people like that changes you, because that gives you that motivation again, like similar to family, but now you working with these group of guys that all have that same thing, like, oh, we're going to the league, we go to the next level, like collegiately, like, and so I feel like that's a really big part. So like talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I'll definitely say like my freshman year, even sophomore year, definitely not hanging around the right people. Just like it really, now that I look back at it, like I see how much like who you hang around with really influence your actions and like what like you're able to achieve like towards your goal. And then it was a big step for me to be able to push people away that wasn't having the same mindset and the same goal that I had.
That's huge. Yeah.
A lot of kids, man, today, man, are afraid to admit that. You get what I'm saying? So they stay doing that. They stay with the same crowd because they're afraid to get away from that crowd, right? Yeah. And that's, I'm proud of you for that, right? I'm proud of you, not only, stating that, like that's huge, So you got to think about it. Like we met what year, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you was going into your 9th grade year, right? You was 8th grade going into your 9th grade year, right? And when I met you, all I ever did was challenge you. You know what I'm saying? Like still to this day, we still challenge each other. He still called me little homie, but I'm big homie. You know what I'm saying? But it's a challenge mindset, right? So you going into your freshman year now. What team was you on your freshman year?
I was on freshman.
You was on freshman team, right? So knowing that you was on the freshman team, around the wrong crowd, right? What made you want to flip that switch?
Just my why.
Okay.
Like my why and my purpose. I had to have a talk with myself. A lot of people don't really have those conversations with themselves. Being true to yourself is probably the biggest thing you can ever do, especially as an athlete.
Facts.
Because you have to grow mentally more than physically. Once you're able to grow mentally, then you're unstoppable. But it's
preach.
Yeah.
Say that again. I mean, people need to understand that. We were talking about that in Mike's episode. Like that mentality. Like, yo, if you don't have your mental right, you're never gonna. You could be the most athletic dude in the world, athletic female in the world. It doesn't matter. Like, you are not gonna make it to that next level if you don't have what you just said right there. So everybody listening right now, if you're young, attention. Coming up, listen to that. Yeah. Take that to heart.
Yeah. I mean, and it's crazy because like, when did you had to understand your why, right? So which leads to me, like, why did you take the weight room serious and when? Like, so why and then when, right?
Yeah, you big boy now.
So why? Because my freshman year, I wanted to be pulled up to varsity, and just seeing like I wasn't that big my freshman year. I was maybe 160, not even 6 foot yet. Like I'll probably say I was maybe like 5'10", and then. Why I got in the weight room is because, well, luckily Coach Blair, he was able to come in during lunch, and then I seen him lifting. I was like, Coach, can I hop in with you? And like, I just seen it as like another opportunity for me to be able to grow in the weight room.
Right.
And so with him just taking me under his wing in the weight room, like I was able to see like a lot of like different aspects in the weight room and like how seriously I need to take it.
So who was your So when your teammates, right? So who was your best workout partner, from your, freshman, sophomore year? Who was your best person that you knew when you got in the gym with that person that he was going to push you and you was going to push him?
There's a couple people. I'll say Noah Kim.
Okay.
That's my best friend.
Yeah.
That's my dog. We always push each other. Always in the weight room.
Okay.
And then I'll say CJ Hoffman.
Yeah.
He let her work out. So like me and him still work out to this day. We're in college. So just like me and him are kind of like in the same range area. So like we're just in there just pushing each other. It's like I just surrounded myself with people who love the weight room, able to push themselves, go that extra mile. Yeah.
That's who you are though. You know what I mean? And then it's funny because you mentioned Noah, right? So you mentioned Noah Kim, but you saw something in yourself, right? That you saw in Noah, right? So that drive, you said y'all like best friends, right? Right? Like TB and I, we're like best friends, right? It's like my little brother, right? So we saw something in each other, right? So you saw something in him and he saw something in you, which made y'all see something in the team, right? So then we get into your sophomore year, right?
Yeah.
That sophomore year was Noah's what year? Junior year, right? So that was a year, that was your come out year, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so speak on that, how you knowing that going into, being on a freshman team, and skipping that JV team to make it to that varsity level.
Yeah. So my sophomore year, I played one JV game, and then afterwards, the guy ahead of me got hurt, and then I was able to step in, fill that role.
Opportunity.
And Coach Shields, since day one, since he saw me, when we came up, when I was up in varsity and playing and stuff, he was the only one that gave me opportunity, that actually trust me, and he sat me down, told me
okay,
you have to grow up fast.
Okay.
He shot me straight, kept it true, and that's the stuff that I like right there.
Honesty, right?
Yeah.
So somebody, trust is tough nowadays with the younger culture, right? Because somebody can say something, it can trigger you, and you never want to work with that person ever again. You know what I mean? So outside of that, I call you nephew. You know what I mean? I always say that to you, and but what made you want to continue to keep, working with someone like me? You know what I'm saying? To help you. So how did I help you, right? And how can you help someone else that needs the guidance that you feel like you got?
So the way that you helped me was you was able to push me to those limits, push me out of those bad habits that I had, those just that bad mindset, just that bad attitude, just being able because you knew what buttons to press.
Yeah.
At that time, I was a hothead.
Yeah.
It was just just a great time.
Yeah.
That was a great learning process that I needed, and it was just a blessing that God gave me for you to.
And I appreciate that. I mean, that's what I was here for. We were just talking about that on my podcast, man. What was my why, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I just try to make the connection, and I asked that question just to see, so people can know that this is deeper than sports.
Yeah.
Right. Our relationship, that you're gonna see a lot of some of these people the guests that come on, it's deeper than sports, right? With us, it's deeper, and which lead into going into your junior year, this is where it became a little bit more, now this has really switched. You know what I mean? You in there, you coach. 315 coach. Now you coach. And around a 4-5 coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So everything switched in you, right? Now we getting to know who Caleb really is, right? Yeah. So share that with us with the world, man. Let people know who that real Caleb was going into his junior year. You know what I'm saying?
So my junior year, I had a totally different mindset. I had the guidance to what I needed to do, with my grades and stuff like that, and be able to get to that next level. So I started taking football way more serious than I did before, because junior year is probably your most important year in high school.
Okay.
And then just going out there, just playing, probably my best year in high school.
It was a great year, man.
Yeah. But then it was just those grades, man. That was a big part that I still wasn't able to fully comprehend of how serious I need to take it, or needed to take that.
And that's where that switch happened, right? Because your junior year became your COVID year, correct? And that's when you made that switch and you end up switching high schools, right? So talk about that switch when you switch from, a powerhouse. Westville was a powerhouse, you know what I mean? Like it was. I always joked around and told people it was a private public football school, baby. It was a private public school, you know what I mean? But it had athletes, man. Like it had some studs that walk through those doors, right? And you was able, you bet on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So speak on that. How you leave Westville and then you start that next chapter, right? And I'll let you speak on it and just give people that journey, that next chapter.
Yeah, so that COVID year was tough for everybody. But then I realized going into my senior year, like with the GPA that I had, like I wasn't gonna end up going to college for football, and I wasn't trying to go to JUCO or anything like that.
I got you.
So luckily, one of my teammates, I reached out to him because I knew that he ended up going to a private school. So I hit him up. And I was like, yo, like I might end up transferring and stuff like that. Like I wonder if I should go here and stuff like that. And he told me like, you gonna want to come over here.
What was the name of the school?
Avalon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Avalon,
it's in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Yeah. So you was away from home a little
bit.
You know?
Yeah, I was driving there every day and stuff. But just that whole transition was just so new to me and stuff like that. Like playing in a different state.
Yeah.
First time having to drive there every day and stuff like that. But like the whole transition was something that me and my family needed to get.
So how did it help you? How did it help you?
Well, just transferring there helped me to get to where I am today.
Okay.
But then it also allowed me to be able to grow as a player and as a man. And so just having that with Coach Spinner there, like he laid down a great foundation for us. Always was able to put his best foot forward for us, like when it came to the recruiting process and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was just like it was a smooth transition. Yeah, like once everything finally started like picking up, like we're getting closer to the season and stuff, and like I started to get more like comfortable with the team, like being able to connect with them and build that relationship with them.
I mean that's a heck of a story. You know, I mean, not a lot of people are afraid to bet on themselves, right? Because that failure is what they see, right? They don't see the growth, they don't see the success in the failure, right? You know, that's everybody says that, right? But it's true. You know, you saw it, right? You know, your grades weren't there. You know, not saying that you're a very smart young man, right? But you knew that you wasn't applying yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so speak on that. So, because there's somebody out there that was in the same situation that you was in, that's like a stud, right? Right, looking for that opportunity to go play college football, right? Yeah. But their grades, just not there.
I mean, you just gotta suck it up. Like honestly, like me personally, I've never been a true fan of school, but then once I finally had that mindset, like this, like if I need to do this to get to where I want to be, then I'm gonna do it. Okay. So like I would just encourage everybody out there just to take your time, to just actually like fully like be devoted into that. So like you can not have to worry about am I going to be able to go into this school or that school.
And that's real, because like a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of athletes feel the exact same way you felt, right? Like cool, I don't really like school that much. I'm not good at school, like those kinds of things. But like you can do it. He did it, right? Like he was struggling.
Facts. You
can do it, right? And so let that be kind of like your model. Like not every single student athlete, like I know we all say like student and an athlete, right? And that's true. And that's when you get to college, like they preach that nonstop. But like you've got to find it within yourself to get to that point. Exactly like you said, like, okay, cool. You know what your end goal is. How am I going to get there? And there's no way around it. Getting an education is part of that. Like that's how you're going to get there. Yes, not a lot of people are going to the league out of high school. It's just a fact, especially in football. So it's like that piece. And the other thing too is like, education is a lot of people don't like school, just a billion different reasons why. But that education is going to take you a lot farther in life too. Like okay, cool. Like you get an injury, right? That takes you out of the sport forever. You have an education to fall back onto. And so it's like, you don't have to love school, but like you said, like, let me get through this so I can get to where I want to go. So I think that's powerful. I think a lot of kids need to hear that, because a lot of kids don't like school. It's just a fact. I didn't like school. Like I was decent at school, but like I didn't like school either. But yeah, I think that's huge. It's real. Like that's the thing. Like a lot of people also be like, man, I was real good at school. I was good at sports. All that. nah, this is real. Like that's real.
That's powerful too. Like Tyler said, man, Coach T knows it. I mean, you get to, when you get to college, the grind is different, right? And it's funny because I say this and I was telling my kids, and I tell you this and tell y'all the same thing. Like y'all got to live like what a college life was because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all had to like be home taking online classes. So how did you stay focused? Right? Like knowing that, what was coming upon you your senior year, right? How did you stay focused to be able to finish high school and put these schools on your radar? Let me back up. So how many schools, these are the questions, how many schools that were looking at you for football, right? How did you stay focused, right? And what made you choose the school that you're at now?
So I had a couple of schools reach out to me, but it just never was anything too special, nothing that like they were trying to offer me or anything like that. But I'll say like I think I had 10 total offers, and then Maryland was my only Power 5. And just having that, like, especially like as like younger recruits that are out there and stuff, like that recruiting process, like don't even stress it, bro. Like it's everybody has like their own time when they're gonna get their offers.
100%,
like it's,
bro.
like it's like this dude might be getting 15 offers like in weeks, like 2 weeks. All you need is that one. Right? All you need is that one. And what kept me focused on like my schoolwork and stuff was my grandma.
Hey man, she keep you straight, bro.
she was on me every day. Every morning I woke up. She's like, Caleb, make sure you get your schoolwork done today. All the time, always making sure I was doing my schoolwork. Always making sure I was just being like staying focused and just having the right mindset. And what kind of just led me to going to Maryland was just how close it was, and like I want my grandma and my mom, and my family to come watch me play.
Yeah.
And then just with how like the coaches were with me, like going through that whole like recruiting process, like I just felt like it was like they were being real. Like they were letting me know like what it was up front, and not like trying to do anything that would like was going like behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Keep it up front.
It's crazy because like where your grandma from?
She's from Martinsville, Virginia.
That's right down right.
So Martinsville is not too far from Danville, Virginia. So great woman, man. You know what I mean? So to be able to, leave, like I said, it's difficult for people to leave where they're comfortable with, right? She came to a situation where she made it comfortable. Yeah. You know what I mean? And having a grandson that she can get on, but he understands that it's all love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the most, exciting thing to me that a grandmother can tell you, like, hey, grandboy, hey, look, you better get your stuff together. It's things out there for you, but it's things that they can be taken away if you don't get your stuff together. And her saying in her ways, your schoolwork done, and you like, yeah, grandma. Yeah, grandma. So those are the things that doesn't go unnoticed. You get what I'm saying? Don't want that to go unnoticed. You get what I'm saying? So which leads into your freshman year, man, like in college. You know what I'm saying? Like you at a Power 5, right? You at Maryland, right? Going in there, as a freshman, right? Let's dive into like, what were some of those challenges, man? Knowing that, you got it's an uphill battle for you, right? You know what I'm saying? So just dive into those challenges, man.
I'll say the first challenge that I faced was like getting used to the schedule, like because like in high school, like you have those 2 days off, but when you're playing a sport in college, you're only gonna have that one rest day. So like I just had the mindset of just like, oh, that's Friday, we're done. No, we're coming right back tomorrow. Man, just being able to like adjust to that was just kind of, I would say, a little bit tough for me. Just because it was something new. I got you. So then just having that, and then just seeing how my teammates were with that, just kind of like modeled how they were going about it, and having that mindset. So something like the seniors and juniors and them, they had it was a routine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I got you. So let's see.
I want to go back to the recruiting process too, because I feel like every athlete's, like you said, that you alluded to it, like every athlete's recruiting process is different. And when I was going through my recruiting process, I went through it like 4-ish years before you did or whatever. So it's changed so much even in that time. And even sports, like my sport track is a lot easier, a lot more, not easier, but like a lot for coaches to, okay, cool, you ran this time, you're going to go there, right? So talk about your recruiting process, what you did to get in front of coaches. Because I think that's really valuable for kids looking to go to that next level is learning how to market themselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
So luckily I was like invited to like some of the like I would say like upper like camps and stuff like that.
Yeah, camps,
I went to the US Open and stuff like that. I'll say like like when COVID like started like lifting like their rules and stuff. And then luckily I was invited to the USA Combine. I won MVP there. And then like it's just the little things that was able to kind of like put me in front of coaches and stuff.
Gotcha.
But then what I felt what really put me like on the map like for like the coaches and stuff to recruit me was when I went to the Under Armour All-American.
Okay.
Got the MVP there as well. And then like when Maryland was talking to me, like they just talked about how like I was able to like showcase like what they wanted to see on the field.
And the ball player,
yeah. So it was just a whole process, and then just staying consistent with
consistency.
That's
huge.
Yeah, just staying consistent with my grind and with my work, and then like staying consistent like with talking to the coaches and stuff like that. Like I will always reach out to any coach, like because at the time like I was looking for any type of opportunity. Like I was willing to go anywhere to play.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, that last part that you said is one of the things. Again, I coach a high school girls team, soccer team, and like that's one thing I keep telling them is like if you don't talk to the coaches, they're never gonna really look at you, especially in these sports. Like there's a million kids that want to play. There's a million kids that are as good or better than you. So how are you going to make yourself stand out? And like that thing is that persistence with talking to the coaches, emailing them, calling them, going to their camp, stuff like that. That's something that I think that it takes the right type of person to do that, because there's going to be those athletes that are like, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody. Like I don't need to talk to nobody. Like, nah, that's not going to fly. Like coaches don't even want that. Right. So I think that last bit is particularly important because that's huge. Like, coaches got to know who you are, like beyond the athlete. Like they want to know that you like the type of person that you are, with your family, all that kind of stuff. When you were there, did you do any official visits to Maryland?
Yeah, I did one.
Okay, you did. Did you do any other ones to any of the schools?
Well, like no official visits.
I got you.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, so for some of the athletes that are going through in D1 sports, I don't know if they do it in D2 or D3, but D1 for sure, you get 3 official visits. This is like, I mean, coaches like wine and dine you type beat. Like you stay on campus, they give you, they feed you. I don't know if they, like on my visits, bro, they fed me. God, he was eating good. But I think official visits and visits like that are really important. Because just as much as like that you want to look good to the coaches, like coaches in the campus and the school, like gotta look good to you. And so like, did you fall in love with the campus like when you went? Like, how did that go?
So I went there on June 9th. I remember the date. Yeah. As soon as I walked into the facility, I knew I was coming to Maryland.
That's tough.
Like I always knew I wanted to play at the Power 5 school. That was my standard that I had like through my whole recruiting process. Like I wanted to go play some big time football.
Facts.
So it was just kind of just
it's a no-brainer.
That's tough. That's huge.
No-brainer, man. Yeah. I mean that's what it's about, man. You know, like, you know, being able to put yourself in a position where, you know, you can make those decisions. You know what I'm saying? And like those decisions that you're making, you know, like you said earlier in the podcast, you know, I do it for my family. Yeah. You know, that's the biggest thing for us, right? Yeah. You know what you're grinding for. You know our conversations that we have all the time. And those conversations that we have, you know, I never let it go unnoticed of the men that you have become. Yeah. You know what I mean? The work that you have put in. Right, and the work that you can continue to do, right, and then, you know, so knowing that you know your freshman year in college, you know, how do you think it went? You know what I'm saying?
I'll definitely say it could have went better. Definitely on my end. Okay. Like I still needed to understand the playbook. Be confident when I'm out there. Just having that, like when you have a good mindset when you're on the field, like when you're out there, like you can just play.
That's all it is, man.
You can just play out there.
It should be free, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, playing sports, if you play it at a thing that your mind is not free, man, you're gonna end up worrying about every mistake. And I think that you're about every mistake. And I think that once you got to the point that how can I minimize my mistakes? I think that's what made you understand. And we always say this, and we just said it the other day. I think it probably was Tuesday, and we was just like, the best ability is accountability.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then we said the best ability is availability. You get what I'm saying? So you holding yourself accountable, right? And you was trying to make yourself available, which is gonna, you wrapped up y'all went into the bowl game, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all already, dived into those things as a freshman, right? Knowing that you're going into your sophomore year, what is your expectations?
My expectations are definitely higher. Not just for me, but as a team standpoint.
Got you.
I feel like that, like we're making these small but big increments in our program.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I just feel like the sky's the limit.
Yeah,
I feel
Huge.
like that's for everybody on our team. Like I feel like everybody's out there trying to improve each other, make each other better, push each other during practice and stuff like that. So like I feel like our ceiling's really high.
Hey man, look, that's the main thing that we, Coach Tyler and myself, are looking for in you guys, right?
Yeah.
Sky's the limits, right? But not only that, it's just like, how can we continue to help you guys be the best version of yourselves and be great men? That's what we're here for. Y'all gonna hear us say this a lot,
Over and
over, man. We are here for the athletes. We're here for them. We're here for their mindset. We're here to help them here first, right? It doesn't matter how much talent you have if your mentals doesn't match it. It's gonna be a lot of tough things you go through, and I think that for that you have weathered that storm. Right, it's only you're a special young man, right? The same thing, and I think that core group of guys that I got to meet and got to call y'all nephews, call y'all family, being over at Westfield, I think that made it easier for us all, right? I wouldn't trade that in for nothing. Yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't trade that in for the world, and I think that that family bond that we have is only going to help the next Caleb, the next Noah, the next Coach Tyler, the next Coach Mike. It's only going to help us, right? And then, we're not going to hold too much more of your time, but one of the last things I want to say before Coach Tyler say his last thing as well is that, if it's anything that you can do to help someone else, give them like I call it the Caleb book, right? Give them the rules of what Caleb was able to do versus how can you help the next person, not say follow your footsteps, but walk that path without getting sidetracked. You know what I mean? So how can you help them with the Caleb rule book?
One of the things that I would say first is getting right with the Lord. That's a big part of my life.
Yeah.
I really do rely on that. Always in the Bible, reading like that just gives me my peace.
Man, say it again, man. Yeah.
And just to go off that, you'll just see how it just gives you peace throughout your life. How it really gives you that comfort, that not stressing, not worrying about the little things in your life, and then just always being grateful. I feel like that's the main, probably the top thing that you can do.
That's the Caleb's book, right?
Yeah. The book, baby.
Nah, man, it's cool. You listen to him and you heard Caleb say it, man. It's crazy. Put God first. I mean, that's the most important thing, man. You young athletes, men or women, if God is not in your life, man, it's gonna be really, really difficult. Understand, ask for forgiveness. Get out here, pray. The things that you want. Don't just ask him for the things that you want, right? And that's what Caleb's saying. Caleb wasn't. He dives in, but he wasn't asking God for the things he wanted. He was like, God, just help me be me. And that's powerful, man. A lot of young men. A lot of young women don't understand that, and a lot of young athletes don't understand what you just said, right? You have put God first, right? Which have helped lead, right? lead this whole train, you know what I'm saying, of success that's been coming your way. And I'm proud to be a part of that, my man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my last question for you. You know, now I'm going to let, you know, Coach Tyler give you his last question, and you're going to end it. You're going to wrap it up, man.
Wrap it up. Nah. So I don't have as much of a question as I do with Noah, and I'm going to do with every single athlete. Like, every single athlete that we bring on here is going to have a different story. Correct. That's the whole point that we're doing this. You're going to see, there may be similarities in people's journeys, but, like, every athlete has a different path. And so as we bring these athletes, like, I want you to take bits and pieces of each one of them and be like, all right, cool. They make mistakes. Learn from those mistakes. Things that they do well, learn from those as well, right? Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that I like to kind of highlight, something that stands out to me with each athlete, is like your the way that you were able to focus on grades and find, all right, cool, like, I know that I had to get through this to get to the next level. Let's just do it. Put your head down and go. And, like, that is such a huge thing for kids, especially now, especially with after having COVID. That's a rare breed of people that had to go through COVID, and I continue to have that motivation to even do school and try and stay in your sport and all that other stuff. So I feel like that's one of the things that I would absolutely take and hold as from what Caleb has said today, is like, grades are important. Make sure you're keeping on top of that. And if you're lacking motivation in that, like, just like, look, like, I want to do my sport, gotta lock it into my grades. It's like those little things. But really appreciate you having on. And like I said, like, I love every single athlete that comes on here. Like every single story is different, and getting to hear those different perspectives, I think, is really, really good for even young athletes, even us, man. Like to go through that. So but. Anything you want to say? Finish it up. Wrap it up, baby.
Wrap it up, man. It's you got to wrap it up.
Your show, man.
Your show, baby.
All the young athletes out there, just keep on grinding and just trusting yourself, and just always just be able to have that mindset of, I'm going to go out here and be able to put my best on the field, or whatever sport you're doing. Mm-hmm. Don't get discouraged when you're, like how I said earlier in the podcast, like when kids are getting offers and stuff like that. Like, it's always a part of God's plan, and nobody can intervene with that.
Correct.
It's always just what's planned out for you, and just make the best of each opportunity that you get.
That's what's up, man.
That's dope, man.
Hey, we want to thank y'all for coming on again. Like Coach Tyler said, man, hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
You know, hit that like. Let us know what you think. You know, and big shout outs, man. Spread the word, man. Caleb was on here. I think he did a heck of a job, man.
Absolutely.
Giving us
Appreciate
the insight of him, man. We love it, man. At the end of the day, nephew, man, we're going to be right here. You know, and we look forward to your sophomore year in college. Yeah. And especially, you know, seeing that, you know, you and Noah Kim compete against each other. You know
yeah, buddy.
That's good. Hey, it's funny, man. We had two Power 5 guys, you know, be our, you know, first two student athletes on this podcast, man. Really, really powerful, you know. And, you know, Noah been at Michigan State, and then Caleb been at Maryland, man. It's going to be a heck of a show. What date is that game?
September 23rd.
He already written it down, man. But at the end of the day, man, I'm looking for some great football from you. Yeah. And put yourself in front of people, man, and let them know what you can do. Yeah, you know, with that being said, my man, it's a wrap for this show right here. Yeah. Athletes Vision has done it again. Another episode down, man.
Done it.
Hey, until next time.
All right.
See you soon.
Peace out.